Hello, my name is Grayson Reed. Today I'm going to be talking about my research paper, and specifically, I'm going to be examining social media and engagement in Texas public schools. So I chose this research topic because that's what my professional career is school communications, and I think that it's something that's really important for our time right now. It's just to make sure that our communication is really transparent and accessible for our families. And so that's kind of why I wanted to look at this research topic and develop these questions just to see what is the most effective and how we can apply that to create a really engaging strategy for our families. So, today I'm going to be looking at my introduction as well as my literature review, and then we'll talk about some of the previous research that has been done on related topics, and then also some limitations that exist within that research. Then I'll move into my research questions and then finally the method that I am applying for this project. So, again, this topic is something that I'm really passionate about. Overall, I think, again, it's just more important now than ever to have transparent and accessible communication for our families. We know that by having this effective communication, we can build trust, we can build relationships, we can create a positive school culture. And hopefully, it increases our parents' motivation to really engage with their child and their academic success. So I'm specifically going to really look at social media today, but again, there are plenty of other communication tools out there that also need additional research. But I think social media is one of the newest tools out there that schools are really digging into, as far as utilizing that to communicate with families, and then to also create content that is really engaging, and sometimes even more for an entertainment purpose than to inform. But overall, I am hoping that this study will help districts strengthen their communication strategies, again, to improve the parent engagement and student outcomes. So, for this research project, I am going to apply the uses and gratifications theory by Katz and Blumler. So, within the uses and gratifications theory, the researchers discuss that media users actively choose content to meet their own personal needs, and they identify five key needs that could be fulfilled. So those can include information, identification, entertainment, social interaction, and escape. So primarily, our parents are really using the media that we create as a school district to stay informed and connected with their students' academic life. So schools are primarily communicating about upcoming events, assignments, um, just all the things that come along with a kid going to school. And so that's really one of the main ways, right? They need to stay informed about what's happening in their child's life. But at the same time, the addition of social media has created some additional opportunities for school districts to fulfill additional needs. So we know that a lot of school districts are now using social media to be more of a source of entertainment as well. So there's potential there for just different ways that districts can use social media to meet the needs of their parents and their stakeholders. But overall, we want to apply this theory to help districts tailor communication to meet their parent expectations and preferences. So, hopefully, within this study, we'll be able to really see what works and what is the most effective, and what parents are responding to on social media. So, again, like I mentioned before, school communication improves parent school relationships, student achievement, and attendance. We know this from previous research, but I think one of the things that's most important is how schools are able to use social media. And again, what is the most effective at improving that relationship between the parent and the school? We also know that effective strategies include using multiple tools and personalized messaging. So I know that I don't want to just stick with using one platform or just social media, right? I need a multi-dimensional approach when it comes to becoming a strategic, to creating a strategic plan. But again, where does social media fit in that, and what can we do with social media for it to be effective? One of the other questions that I am interested in is visual content and engagement. So, again, we know that visual content can improve retention, clarity, and emotional connection. And we also know that high quality images can create higher engagement. So this is something that is pretty standard or universal across a lot of industries, but it's something that has not been researched very much at all when it comes to school communication. So I think it is important to kind of look at this in the education or school communication context, just because there has not been a lot of research previously conducted, specifically in the education field on visual content. And again, it all ties back into the social media access. What posts are going to perform the best? What posts are going to keep my families engaged and leave them feeling happy with the kind of communication that they're getting from their school district, right? And then I also wanted to kind of look at audience demographics and communication. We also know that demographics strongly affect communication preferences and engagement. So those demographics can include age, language, gender, and race. Um, and all of that ties into creating a personalized approach when it comes to communication. We know that that is more effective than just kind of a one size fits all approach. And so, again, just finding ways to personalize across social media platforms to increase that engagement and satisfaction, and just really tailoring the tools that we use and the way that we use them to meet the needs of our school communities and our stakeholders. So there is a need for further research. Existing research often examines a lot of other industries, as I explained before, but it does not really look at school-specific communication. So there are gaps in the impact of visual content on engagement and the relationship between demographics and the communication frequency or choice, as well as the effectiveness of specific platforms or content types, specifically as it relates to parent or stakeholder engagement on social media. So, my research questions are what is the relationship between district social media channels and parent engagement? How does visual content like photos, videos, or graphics in district social media posts influence engagement rates? And how do district demographic profiles influence the content of social media messages posted by school districts? So, for my methods, I am going to sample 10 Texas public school districts that are diverse in geography, socioeconomic status, as well as demographics. And really, I'm going to collect data from social media posts between July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2025 on Facebook and Instagram. We know that Texas public school districts are the most active on Facebook and Instagram. And then I chose the time period from July 1st to June 30th because all Texas school districts start at different times. There's no set specific date that they have to start. And so from July 1st to June 30th is kind of one full calendar year of posts and engagement for all Texas school districts. So my collection of data includes screenshots of posts, media captions, and then engagement metrics, just so I can measure the likes, the reach, all of that good stuff when it comes to how a post has performed. And then I'm planning to do 300 total posts, 30 per district. And then I'm using systematic sampling to look at every 10th post in chronological order. And so when I do this, the content analysis I'm going to code are the frequency of posts, the type of communication, subject matter, visual content presence, and then the engagement rates that are associated with that additional post. So, in conclusion, I hope that my study will inform and improve future school communication practices and really help schools better understand how they can have effective communication to build trust, create engagement, and bridge the gap between student success. Again, it's just so important for us to understand how our communication tools can help benefit this. And so hopefully my study will just inform this and help schools know how they can be better communicators and create a strategy that works for them and their school community. Thank you so much for watching.